Hey everybody, Bill and Deb.
Good afternoon.
Well, they don't know that it's afternoon.
Oh, well, it's afternoon here.
Yeah. I know a lot of folks are wondering where we've been.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, we've been here and there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Had a few things we had to deal with, and they've been dealt with now, or in the process of, I guess we can say, huh?
I guess so, as much as we can do.
I guess what I'll tell them where we are at the moment, sorta. We're in Florida.
Yeah. It's where we've been wanting to be.
You didn't seem too enthusiastic about that when you said, yay, like that.
Well, I was trying to be, mature about it.
Yeah. Be mature about it.
Nah. It's always good to pretend.
No, we're in Florida, and we'll be telling you a lot more about where we are in future videos and how we ended up here. I guess what we really need to talk about right now, here a couple of weeks ago, we fulfilled our first full month back on our adventure when we left Northwest Arkansas after taking care of business there.
Right. We was in Northwest Arkansas. And then we went to Maumelle Campground.
Which is in Little Rock, Arkansas.
And then we went to Clear Creek. Which is in Mississippi.
Yeah, that was just 3 days there. Of course, if you all might remember, that's when we had the breakdown with the van. And, and the horror stories that we told you about that one.
And then from there, we went to Pickensville.
And, of course...
that's in Alabama.
Yeah, and Pickensville, Alabama is definitely one that we will return to.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
We loved it there.
Oh, absolutely beautiful there.
Met some awesome people there, other full-timers. Anyway, we loved that campground.
Yeah.
The next place we stopped was Davis Bayou.
Which
in
is
Mississippi.
On the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Yeah.
Yes, and Den and Renata came to visit us, as well as some other people.
Den the cockeyed camper, and Renata.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. And from there, we came to Eastbank.
Yeah. Eastbank Campground, which is in the extreme southwest corner of Georgia. Now, it's in a very unique position. It's on Lake Seminole, which is fed by the Apalachicola River, and the Apalachicola River, of course, eventually ends up at Apalachicola Bay in Apalachicola, Florida. And sometime later in the month of February, we will be visiting St. George Island there for a few days. We happen to have a very fortunate opportunity to grab a spot for a few days at a beautiful campground on St. George Island, which has been a part of our bucket list anyway. But more about Eastbank Campground. Like I say, it's in the very extreme southwest corner of Georgia, and because of that, there's a unique situation there. To get to Eastbank Campground in Georgia, the last town you go through is Chattahoochee, Florida. And you no sooner pull out of Chattahoochee, Florida on this road, and you go maybe a block and a half, and you're back in Georgia.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So
1 second you're at 11 o'clock, and the next day you're at 12 o'clock.
That's the next thing I was going to say. You are also pretty much straddling the state line where you are, and you're pretty much straddling the time zone change from Eastern time to Central time.
So our poor cell phones didn't know if they were coming in double.
Didn't know. So where we were in the campground, we were on Eastern time, but 100 feet offshore, down the middle of Lake Seminole, pretty much, it was Central time.
Yes.
I could literally throw a rock into the lake, and it would arrive an hour earlier.
Or later.
No,
which is it?
Earlier. Think about it for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say earlier. Some people might say later.
No, it's earlier.
But anyway, the campground is a gorgeous campground. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again on this particular one. As far as ease of setting up and things like that, pulling your RV in and setting up, there's no such thing as a bad site.
No.
All of them were nice and level. Most of them were very deep. They could accommodate huge RVs.
And this campground for December, the end of December,
yeah,
was full the entire time we were there. Yeah. I don't know how we lucked out getting 2 whole weeks there.
Well, we were just very fortunate to be able to get it there, that's for sure. The nearest town, we will say this right quick, the nearest town where you have major shopping venues like Walmart supercenters and things like that is Marianna, Florida, and I think it's roughly, what was it, 25 miles or so away, something like that.
Something like that.
25, 30 minutes away, let's put it that way.
Yeah, there. That sounds more right.
Yeah. Now, where we were in the campground, we were in a spot that was not near the water. And, of course, we didn't know about this when we got the reservation there, and we just grabbed the first thing we could find. But we did take a tour of what we considered to be our favorite areas, and you all know when we're near a stream or a body of water like a lake or whatever, our favorite campsites are along the lake, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we put together a real quick little 3.5 minute tour of what we consider to be our favorite spots on this campground. So enjoy. Two primitive campsites here near the boat ramp. And that is the boat ramp.
And the water was much clearer
Yes, very clear.
than I had expected it to be. 1 through something. Okay, we like 2. And we like 3.
It's 1 through 16, looks like. But go ahead.
And we like 4. And we like 5. Have you seen a pattern here? We like the ones on the water. 7. 7 has a nice shade tree. 8. And 9 has a huge yard. Don't like these over here because they got their backs to the water when you're sitting out underneath your awning or what have you. The picnic table. It's just not what we like.
Some casitas in here.
Overflow parking.
Yeah, this is loop 1 through 16. Oh, 17 through 41, loop C. That must have been loop B over there.
Okay, we like 17. And we like 18. 20. 21's okay. It's a pull through. 22.
But we really like 22.
And of course 23.
3. It's a little shorter though.
Yeah.
And of course this pull through, which is site 24.
You have a nice yard facing the water.
Yes.
It's a win-win.
Win-win. Win-win.
Win-win. Then 26 has a great view of the water.
Yeah. Site 26 right there.
Yeah. 28 is okay because you got a good view of the water from where you're parked. 30 is good.
But 31's better.
Yeah, 31's good. Then you get to where you're backwards. Your back is to the water.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the sites themselves are nice. They're just not what I want.
That's 33 right there.
Yes.
That Airstream there is at 34.
As you can see, some of them are nice, big sites. Nice and big, and we've got plenty of room in between.
Yep. All right, as you can see, there's some beautiful spots there on Lake Seminole at Eastbank Campground there in the extreme southwest corner of Georgia. And what was our most favorite spot of all? I think it was 23, wasn't it? Site 23?
Yes, 23 is my most favorite because it's got the biggest yard and you've got clear view
A
of
view,
the water.
yeah. And then there was that pull-through campsite right next to it, which would be our next choice, but I can't remember the number on it.
Not
but it was
right
in the
offhand.
yeah.
It's in the video.
Yeah, it's in what you just saw there. But anyway, let's talk about the pricing there right quick. And of course, when we quote pricing, it's going to be after we get the discount for being over 62 years old. Did I say that right?
I think
yeah,
so.
we got that senior citizen thing,
Senior
going on.
citizen.
Yeah. And what was the pricing? It was about $12 a night, wasn't it?
Yeah, my total
Yeah.
for 2 weeks was $168, I believe.
Yeah.
That's after our discount.
Right, after the senior, when you have the senior pass, they call it.
We had 50 amp electric.
That's right.
And water at the site.
Mm-hmm.
And nice level pads. They do have a washer and dryer.
Mm-hmm.
1 washer, 2 dryers.
Mm-hmm.
They have showers. We did not go into it because we don't use those facilities. We have our own here in the trailer, so I don't check those out, but they do have them.
Yeah. And but anyway, we really enjoyed our visit there. It was nice. It was
Yes.
nice. It really was. And we met some wonderful people. What was that lady's name that we met? Her and her husband?
Rob and Stacy.
Rob. Yeah. Are you sure?
Stacy or Tracy?
Tracy. I think it was Tracy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll flash her name right with her picture there. But I'm
They
pretty
are
sure.
also
yeah.
full timers and
Yeah.
have been for quite
Yeah.
a while. And so we always meet a lot of people
Yeah.
that are full timers and get their experiences, and it's a very interesting conversation.
We meet so many people, folks, that it's hard for us to keep all the names straight, But we really enjoyed visiting with her. It was awesome. Her and her husband both. Now, when we decided it was time we need to take some photos, her husband had already left to take care of some other things, so we only got a photo of her. But now they have their own YouTube channel, and I will put a link to their YouTube channel in the description. How's that?
How much wine have you had?
I haven't had any yet.
Maybe
Haven't
that's
had
the
any yet. But we got to tell you a quick story right quick, and then we'll get into our expenses for the full month. When we went there, we came from Davis Bayou up to there, and Davis Bayou, of course, is on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and I think it was about a 3.5-hour run or something like that up there. Of course, when you go up there, part of the route is on I-10, and I-10 takes you through Mobile, Alabama. And, of course, when you go through Mobile, Alabama on I-10, you have to go through the tunnel. And Deb just loves going through tunnels, don't you?
Not. I do not like tunnels. But
So-
at least this time when we went through it, it was not dripping on us.
That's true. That's true.
And they fixed it.
But as we get ready to enter the tunnel, I tell her, I say, now just think about it, dear. There could be a huge tanker going over the top of us right now.
Do y'all feel the love? So did I.
Anyway, when we come out on the other end of the tunnel, finally, you can hear Deb go,
We made it. We
Yeah.
survived.
it's like she held her breath the whole time we went
did.
under the tunnel.
I may have to practice.
But anyway, and I personally, myself, even I dreaded going through the tunnel myself a little bit, but it really wasn't that big of a deal. Zoom right on
No,
through
we
it.
talked about
Yeah.
taking an alternate route so that we could bypass the tunnel.
Right, but nah, not anymore, man. Not anymore.
Gaining experience
No.
with every trip.
Absolutely. Anyway, since that marked our first full month of our adventure, we've been sharing our expenses with you. And of course, the whole goal of this was to see, the one reason why we started doing what we're doing now is we wanted to be able to travel and see things and be able to do it on what we draw in Social Security between the two of us. Okay. And we have stated this before, to us together, both of our checks total significantly less than $2,000 a month. We are not part of the national average they talk about at all.
I don't know where they get those
So
numbers.
the whole idea of doing this was to see if we could travel, on a monthly basis and not have to go beyond what we draw on Social Security. So Deb has a final tally there. Would you like to go over all that with them right quick?
Sure. Okay. Our grand total, the month of November 30th through December 30th, was $2,152.28. So we did go over budget.
Yeah, but there's a reason why.
Yes. Our park rent for the whole month was $358. Our fuel was $402.95. Groceries was $495.65. We ate out, and when we say eat out, we're stopping and doing a drive-through somewhere.
Yeah, like Wendy's or something like that, you know.
$74.16. Our alcohol, so I can put up with Bill, was $102.63.
How much was that again?
$102.63. It was $25 less than you eating out.
Oh, you ate out with me.
Yeah, but I didn't want to.
Oh, but you still ate.
You still drink.
Continue.
Okay. All right. Laundry, $34.75. We filled our propane tank, and that was $20.
Mm-hmm.
Our phones, and we have two phones in case we have two different services. We have T-Mobile and we have Verizon. Those were $192. Hulu, which is our entertainment, is $13.13 because we pay for the extra package so we can download.
Right.
Power Director, which is what he uses to do his videos, was $5.99. What took us over budget was our car and trailer maintenance. And that was $444.49. And of course, if you've been following us, you know that we had a breakdown. We had to buy a new water pump. We had to pay a mechanic. We ended up having to buy a new tire. We bought a new air filter, and we bought a new scissor jack for the trailer.
That's right. We did do that too.
So that's all included in that.
Right.
So that's why we went slightly over budget.
So the total altogether again was
$21.51.28.
$2,151.28. Now, of course, that includes the breakdown. Now, the breakdown itself that night when we had the breakdown, that was over $375.
Yeah.
That night.
Night.
Everything all together. To get us back going again. And when you subtract that amount off of the total of $21.52, that is almost to the penny
what we bring
what we bring in on Social Security, per month. So had we have not had the breakdown, we would have been almost to the penny what we spent, what we bring in with Social Security. So, we know that breakdowns like this are going to happen from time to time.
So we try to save for those.
And honestly, we do try to fix things before they break, I do, when it comes to maintenance on the vehicles and stuff like that. But this one I missed. That's all there is to it.
Oh, well.
And if I would have taken care of it on the front end, the cost would have been probably about half what it ended up costing us because of the breakdown on the road.
Right.
So anyway, that's kind of where we're at on that. And actually, I'm kind of tickled that it came out the way that it did. I'm really, really happy with that.
Well, as you know, before we started this life, we wrote down everything and wrote it.
Yeah. Now, we'll briefly go over where we went next. And I really didn't take much video of that particular campground. We went to a state park in the far eastern side of Georgia the next time, and that was Tom Hill State Park.
Jack Hill.
Where did Tom come from?
I know. Tom's the other guy.
Jack Hill State Park, which is in Reedsville, Georgia. And we were there for a week, but we had a purpose for being there. We met up with one of our followers. He's a very faithful follower of us, him and his wife. And that was, again, Dan the Cockeyed Camper. And while we were there, Marvin and Mary, if you remember, they wanted to visit with us again, and they wanted to visit with Dan the Cockeyed Camper as well, to give him some pointers on solar and things like that. So they showed up there at that campground as well. So the three of us got to spend some good quality time there at the campground. And we went to Dan and Renata's home and had
a cookout.
A cookout, yeah. I had ribs.
Yeah.
Ribs and tater salad and
baked
beans and corn on the cob.
And some kind of apple cake.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, but we had a blast there, and that was kind of a quick trip to take care of a little bit of business and to visit with Den and Renata about a few things, and more to come on that later.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. But the campground itself was a nice campground. It was a lot more than what we would normally pay because we don't get the well, we do get a senior discount in the state of Georgia on Georgia state parks, but it's only 20%. But even then, after that, it still was like $180 some for a week. Even after all that.
What we usually
right,
spend.
right. It's about double what we usually spend. We did have sewer at the site, which was nice. We had 50 amp service and water at the site, and the campground was very, very, very well maintained. It was a nice campground, had a nice little, I would say about a 5-acre lake, maybe bigger than that. I needn't look up
More
the
to
details
come
on that. Yeah.
in the next video?
Well, now we'll just show them some good photos now, because
Awesome.
I really didn't get any good.
Okay.
I didn't get any good video.
Well,
on
we
that.
also met up with, of course, Marvin and Mary.
Yep.
We did a walkthrough on their trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been on the road now since September.
Yeah.
And they are absolutely loving it.
Yeah, and we're hoping to have another conversation with them so they can tell us some stories about their travels and the
Yes.
places they've been and how well their particular conversion is working for them. So we will be seeing them again here before
Yes.
too awful long. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, I guess that's it.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Anyway, this is Bill and Deb talking to you from Florida. And as we always say, we're not camping.
We're living.
Y'all take care. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye now.